Hey, Krishna, it's always good to connect with you. And today I wanted to have a conversation with you about AI, Chat GPT. I mean, it's what everybody's talking about. And at Comprise, we talk a lot about AI and how we feed data models and some of these algorithms with the right sets of unstructured data. Wanted to get your take on where you see things going and where you see the importance or how you see the importance of data management as it relates to this topic.
Yeah, Darren, it's really interesting. AI definitely holds a lot of potential and a lot of promise, as we can see from solutions like ChatGPT and just how intelligent it sounds, when you ask it a question, right? And but at the same time, we all know that anything that can cause a lot of good can as easily also cause a lot of harm. That's always the issue with innovation. And Fortunately, most areas, as we innovate, we also develop policy frameworks around it. But for AI, there's a genuine concern that the policy has to precede more innovation. Otherwise, it would almost be too late. And you can see that a lot of people are sounding the alarm, a lot of AI experts, that we need to get more policy and regulation. And you can't just leave it up to companies to do that work. And I completely agree with that idea, but I think that there is a missing piece in that conversation, which is extremely important. And that missing piece is the role of data in AI, and the need for data governance and data management for AI models.
Are you raising the alarm in the way that some are right now and advocating for a pause? Or are you just, well, let's talk about what you are recommending and what you think the next step should be.
I think I do think there should be a pause. I think there should be a policy framework. And I think that policy framework must include data governance and data management. And particularly, there are three areas that require data management for AI. So the first thing we must understand is that AI is really not intelligence the way we think of intelligence as humans. It's basically intelligence gained from a lot of data sources. So basically, it's gleaned information from data sources and using that information to generate new information. That's kind of what generative AI is. So a lot of what you might think of its intelligence as is actually framed by the training data that it runs on. So the training data set is extremely important. It's important that you know what was in the training data set when you're trying to use an AI algorithm or an AI bot. So transparent today, there's no transparency around the training data. There's been a lot of news articles about issues that it has created. And I think just today there was an article in the Washington Post, an excellent article that analyzed, some of GPT's training data and saw that, some of that data actually comes from, websites that the U.S. government has marked as pirated content. Some of that data contains voter registration information. So if you as a company are using a GPT-based algorithm, you might be using PII without even knowing it. And a lot of the sites that it was looking at have been considered unverifiable sources and fake news sources. So that means the data that you're getting might be biased by unverified information, and you may not even know that. So that's unacceptable. So the training data set, transparency around the training data set, regulations around governance of the data, and accuracy of that data, verifiability of that data is extremely important. I think that's the first area. The second area that a lot of people don't realize is that when you ask an AI bot a question, and when you feed it information, like if you say, correct this article for me, or create a PowerPoint from this data, anytime you give it some information, that information is actually getting added to its training data. So that information that you're giving it is not a private conversation between you and that AI bot. It's information that's going back into the public domain that somebody else could now leverage. And we saw news recently that, Samsung, for example, discovered this, when some of their employees, gave, an AI algorithm some code to correct, and that code leaked into the public domain. Um, People need to be aware of this. And I think there needs to be governance that says there need to be domains of training data. There needs to be corporate specific training data that a company can feed to an AI solution, but the knowledge gained from that plus the data itself will remain proprietary to that company. There's no such notion of domains right now. There needs to be a notion of data domains, sovereignty of data domains, and security and governance around data domains. And again, data management plays a huge role in ensuring that happens. And then the third area is, what about the content that the AI solution generates? Because it's generating new content. First of all, how do you know it's not a bad actor or it has been used by a bad actor for malicious use? So there need to be some regulations governing the output of an AI solution, but also, again, security, privacy, and reusability of the generated content need to be regulated. And there needs to be data management to ensure that the boundaries, the privacy of that data is maintained. So I believe data management plays a pivotal role in the future of AI.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts. We look forward to watching this space closely.
Likewise.
Take
Thanks.
care.